Hey guys, welcome to Beer Geek Nation. We are here at Pizza Boy Brewing in Enola, right outside of Harrisburg. I am joined by Terry, the brewmaster here at Pizza Boy Brewing. Terry, how did you get started with Pizza Boy? You've been here since, what, about August?
Been here since July.
Okay.
I've known Al for a little over a year beforehand, and I was previously cabinet artisanal out of Philly, and needed a change desperately, so I took him up on his offer finally.
Cool. And you guys are doing kind of beers really, like the craft beer guys, beer geeks really kind of get into big IPAs, big imperial stouts, sours, some Berliner Weisses. And we're actually here today because you guys are getting ready to release your first bottled sour, I guess first two bottled sours. The first one, which we're drinking, is Intangible, if you want to talk about that one.
Intangible is a slightly different process. I actually sour the wort first. Okay. And then once the wort's soured to my liking, then it's pumped back to the brew kettle. And in this one in particular, I had some friends come in and help us zest and juice 50 pounds of fresh tangerines, all of which were added to the Whirlpool and Louderton.
Okay, cool.
And then, it just fermented with a straight normal ale yeast. Mm-hmm. So it was microbiologically clean through fermentation. And then once we moved it to the bottling tank to bottle, it was actually bottled with Brettanomyces.
Okay.
So it'll keep. Right now, it's still very young, so there's no real discernible Brett character. Right. But by the time it's released, hopefully, and for a long time to come, it'll keep developing.
And what Brett strains were you actually using this?
It's the one that's isolated from Driefonteinen, so it's called Dr. Drie.
Okay, cool. Very cool. With the souring of the mash, you just let it sit overnight, basically?
No, we have. I have another tank behind this door, a 10-barrel tank that I fill with fresh wort, no malt, and the tank has a pure culture of lactobacillus in it.
Okay.
So everything is pumped in and out under CO2, so no air ever gets in the tank.
Oh, wow.
And it can take some more time, but the results are much better.
Cool. Very cool. So let's try the Intangible. When is the release date for this? Do you have any idea?
We still don't know yet.
Okay.
We're planning on doing it when we get to the new place.
Okay.
But nothing's been set in stone yet. It's a matter of really when the beer is ready.
Okay. And I should say that the new place is going to open end of April?
It'll be beginning of April-ish.
Okay.
At some point.
So it's a much bigger brew system than you have now.
Yeah, it's the one we brew on now is a 5 hectoliter Braucon, and the new one is oversized 20 hectoliter.
Yeah, there's pictures of it on the Pizza Boy Facebook, and it's a sight to be seen. A lot of stainless now. It's a beautiful system. So let's get into this one. Appearance-wise, it's a beautiful kind of golden orange as far as the aroma goes. Get a lot of that white wine barrel. Definitely a lot of tangerine in there.
No barrel.
Really?
Yeah, no barrel aging on this at all.
It's almost like a grape, like a white wine grape type of smell.
That's that pure, lactobacillus ferment.
Yeah, on the taste, you get definitely a little bit of sourness, but again, not over, not too sour at all. More of that fruit characteristic. Definitely get the tangerine in the taste, more so on the aroma itself.
It's a nice, sharp, clean sourness too. Right. It's not meant to be over the top. It's not alembic. It's not even an attempt at anything like that. It's just much more of a clean, sharp, drinkable, different sort of beast.
Yeah. Yeah, and right, you don't really get any of that kind of that Brett funkiness or fruitiness yet, but that's something you said will develop.
Yeah, Brett usually takes around 3 months to develop, and this was bottled on the 12th of February, so still very
young. Now, it's putting the tangerines in there. Does the Brett have the issues with that pH or too acidic?
Brett actually thrives under a lower pH.
Okay.
So, I don't even have any problems with house yeast.
Okay.
Whether it be my, American ale yeast or my farmhouse yeast, it doesn't have any, because it's already, my pH going into the fermenters generally when I sour the wort is 4, like 4.2, 4.1.
Okay.
Sometimes it'll go all the way down to like 3.4.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it depends on the character I'm looking for.
All right, so this is the apricot sour. This was aged in barrels with alembic yeast added in the barrels, so souring that way.
Yeah.
It's called Perma Smile, you said?
Perma Smile. Yep. It was actually pre-soured like the Intangible previously, but then barrel fermented. No, never went into a fermenter, and it was barrel fermented entirely with lambic yeast.
Okay, cool.
So, and then probably about 3 months. This is only actually about 6-7 months old.
Okay.
And probably around the 3-month mark, the apricots went in.
Okay. Oh yeah, I mean the aroma on this one is night and day compared to the other one. You definitely get a lot of that funkiness, kind of that classic Belgian lambic sour wild ale type of smell. Oh wow, that's really nice. A lot more, like a slight more sweetness to this one, kind of in the finish, whereas the other one was straight up like dry, almost sour. This one has definitely like kind of a residual fruity sweetness to it. Really nice.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
Like I said, it's still re-fermenting in the bottle. So, testing it before bottling, it was about as dry as water. But with the added sugar back into the bottle to carbonate it, that's pretty much what you're tasting.
Okay.
That'll dry up and be gone by the time it comes. It'll still maintain that real juicy aspect of the fruit because of the acidity, but the sweetness will pretty much disappear.
It's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome stuff. So what else can people look forward to as far as bottle release? I mean, rough ideas.
We're working on. I'm working on several. I'm actually bottling this Thursday too. It won't be a bottle conditioned beer, but it's another sour like the Intangible, but it's called Afternoon Delight. I'll pull you a sample of that too. But it's 6% Imperial Berliner, if you would, and it's really hoppy. Hopped with all American hops, Falconer's Flight. So it's really fruity, almost grapefruity, but still clean, sharp,
Very nice.
very refreshing. And then I have the base beer for this prior to the fruit being added. I have two white wine barrels and one red wine barrel of a golden sour to blend and bottle as well. So whether that'll get done, in time or not, I can't say, but probably not. But the Thursday we'll definitely be doing Afternoon Delight.
Cool.
And I have another fresh batch of our Grassland Saison that I'm actually going to bottle with Brett.
Oh wow.
So,
very cool.
So we have a lot of stuff coming down the pipe works soon, and we'll just continue on. At the new place, we'll actually have we have an L-shaped bar, and one of the bars there'll literally be 16 live sour beers behind the bar, and so I guess sort of like Cascade does, when they're ready, we're going to drill the barrels out with and put a valve here on the tank, and then set up a CO2 system so that when we tap the barrel, we can put a cask breather in it, just like a cask conditioned beer, and actually serve live from the barrel, fresh sours behind the bar.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
and we have tons of room over there for normal barrel aged beers too.
Right.
Like we'll be doing lots of bourbon and brandy and rum and everything else.
Well, I gotta ask one thing. What the hell is Smurf Blood?
Smurf Blood was our Royal Tannenbaum, the blueberry sour
right.
that's on upstairs. Then kicked into a white wine barrel and has 42 pounds of cherries and 32 ounces of an organic blueberry concentrated juice added to it as well, and along with a huge slurry of wild yeast. So.
All right, so cheers, guys. Check out Pizza Boy Brewing on the net to check out all the beers. Great stuff. Cheers.